patch on. Still feel like I'm doing better than typical. I think today I'm gonna spend it by myself. I don't really feel like any company. I think I want to go to Rusty's, and I got some Thai homework to do. I haven't had any Wi-Fi for 3 days. They're supposed to fix it today, which is frustrating because I need to get some just little tiny things. Everything big is all done and happy, and I just wanted to sort out some new insurance coverage I'm going to get back in the States, and the person is only available by phone at certain hours, and then, which I could normally do any other day in the last 90 to 150 days or so would have been no problem. But for the last 3 days, I've had no Wi-Fi, and my phone for long distance, even though I've got a US SIM and a Thai SIM and long distance enabled and blah, 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 it only makes long distance calls if I'm on Wi-Fi. Whatever, fuck it. So I'll get to them when I get to them. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so having some sorting out stuff. Had a pretty, gosh dang it, another pretty big argument last night. Or argument, just, frustrating. The cultural difference is so deep sometimes. Every time I seem to get serious about building the house, and I really, because I'd like to, all right, I'm living here in this little apartment and I'm happy and it's great, but it would be nice. I did design. I wasn't the key designer. That's not fair. But I was leader of a design team for a handful of years for high-end house construction. Mansions, not McMansions, mansions. 6 to 10,000, 6 to 11,000 square feet, something like that. These were about $1 million-ish to $2 million at the time. Some of those houses didn't appreciate. They're still worth like $1 million, which is crazy. 30 years later, the price is about the same. There's like a mental thing about $1 million in the Metro Detroit area, but other ones in more supportive neighborhoods, private gated communities, like they really reek of the whole upper crust thing. Some of the ones that we built for $2 million back then are now 5, 7, 10 million. So those did go up. Still were a shit investment if you look at $30, $50,000, $60,000 a year in property taxes plus maintenance, and those homes require a ton of maintenance. You own a home like that, you will have a repair crew at your home probably almost every month in perpetuity. By the time this board isn't rotted, that one's rotted. What a waste of a life. I got my motorcycle. I'm happy. All that stuff meant something to me when I was growing up, and it means valueless now. But anyways, every time I get serious about building a house, because I'd like to live in my own architectural creation, and I had that epiphany on the steel design like 3 or 4 days ago, and I was putting it together, and I'm like, I sat down, kind of like my head down, like, this is gonna suck. I got to do the steel. I got to figure this out, and then the best solutions are the simple, obvious ones, right? In the final analysis, and that's what this was. And I was in front of me the whole time, and I'm like, it all like fell together, and I'm like, that'll be freaking beautiful. That's exactly what I want. It'll be this gorgeous design that I love, and always wanted, and never, you don't do this in the States. This is a little more daring, but it might actually be cost efficient. Like it might even be the least expensive way to build it, like in terms of the steel design. And it's simple and it's repeatable. And there's a couple little clever things, sneaky little things you got to do. But once you get one, it's a truss. It's an open web square tube truss that'll be look like the supporting truss inside like a wing of an airplane or a submarine or something. I don't know, but it'll be really cool looking. And once you get one done, the house is straight. There's no shifting and jogs in and out on the floor plan. It's all straight. So once you get one figured out, it needs I think 4 of these is all. In all honesty, I'll just guess at the strength needed, but I'm pretty willing to guess if I do like a 14 or 16 inch deep open web truss, that's probably somewhere between 4 and 54 times as strong as it needs to be. And I won't have any problems, There's no weight. There's no snow load. In Michigan, the roof design is all snow load. I got the snow load covered. I'm at latitude 15. Anyways, every time I get close to I would like to actually do it once I can make the least financial nonsense out of it possible, which is probably the right way to really say it. I always have some kind of issues. But every time I get close, it's like I will not push myself. I did that in my first marriage, and that didn't work out so hot for Rob. So I will not push myself. So uh, I could bide my time like this, standing on my head in a wetsuit, whistling Dixie all day. This is no problem for me. This is not uncomfortable. Uh, my biggest challenge here right now is I want to take my motorcycle to the shop, which I've identified and communicated with, and they can do all the work I want. It's probably 20 grand or something, but more than half of that's the tires, or half that's the tires. And if it's no, so that was kind of my point though, is the other stuff. Man, it's frustrating, you know. But so the issue is, I've set up like an allowance, and then now I'm leaving, and then how much do I leave, and then if I leave a normal amount. But you get that. Why am I sharing this? Because one, I'm frustrated and get it off my chest a little bit. Two, I'm gonna talk to a good. I got a really good. I got one particularly good friend about this who's kind of going evaluating his relationships and stuff. He's dating here and that, and bounce all this off of him a little bit. But I'm having trouble finding somebody to bounce this off of. It's because a lot of guys have got this or that particular mindset, and they're into kind of this or that particular way of thinking, and I want somebody a little more open, you know. Anyhow, but in the village life, you get. I've mentioned this many times before. It's not scamming, but it's this money and support stuff. It feels a little like that, and it can. And commonly, it seems like, at least that's what I see here. And usually I'm okay with it because basically it's not really that different when you think about it. Back in the States, you know, if you lose the ability to work, hypothetically speaking, you might end up divorced, you know. If you, a guy that's not doing well, he doesn't get the best lady typically. I mean, there are guys like that, and there are women like that are really good, but that's a rarity. It's not like everything, you know. I think. There's some kind of pay for play. It is. I think the support. They want support, and I'm okay with that. And in fact, having it a little more formalized is easier for me, and it's certainly a lot less expensive here. And but sometimes it gets a little weird, and I don't like weird. So I don't have to do anything though. Before I had to always do stuff because I was tied and I was stuck and I was screwed and I had to do something. I guess that's why my ex-wife didn't have to, because she didn't. She just already had everything. So looking back, wow, it's so obvious. That's sad. That's really sad. I mean, I put my heart and soul into that relationship, and in the end, I mean, if your wife is thinking kind of gold diggy, they don't have to fix the marriage. They don't have to do anything. They already got everything. Yeah. It's interesting here how my life through here has caused me to reflect on life back in the States and go, oh, yeah, now I see that better. I see that more clearly. Because it's like the same. Here it's maybe a little more overt, or it's easier to see when it's somebody else's stuff. You don't want to see your own stuff. It's like Jesus saying, take the log out of your own eye before you worry about the splinter in someone else's. It's kind of like that. It's easier to see somebody else's stuff. But then I think to the States and I go, oh, yeah, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? I've had that moment a lot here, a lot. But anyway, so I wasn't digging the weird conversation about money. Just gonna let it ride. I leave in like 9 days or something, so I'm not making any big decisions. I'm not changing shit. I'm not changing shit right now. And I'm going back to the States and love out my boy and enjoy my daughter's wedding. And I think my son's got like 3 different bottles of bourbon waiting for me to taste. And I refitted an oversized humidor because aged cigars taste better than and they're mellower than fresh ones. Believe it or not, you can look it up. And this is an old timer going by on a bike. This is cool. And he's got it full. He filled it because he wanted to have a big selection for me when I got home. So it's like a ridiculous, like 200 cigar humidor or something. It's good size. I couldn't lift it right now in my condition, but a healthy man would have a hard time lifting it. It's probably 30 pounds or something. It's if you stack 6 shoe boxes up, it's about that size. And it's got glass on the top and the front, and a drawer and a big door that folds down and a lid on the top. And I sealed it and really worked it. It was a little cheap on eBay. It came in a little, it was gorgeous. It's really pretty, but it was a little, the seals weren't sealed very well. And I just adjusted the seals on it a little bit, and it snugged it right up, and then the humidity came right in spec. And then I replaced the hygrometer. It came with a bullshit, sorry, pardon, I'm swearing today, just like a Chinese made, whatever, low end hygrometer, which is your humidity gauge. And I calibrated it to where it was ballpark good, because it looked pretty, the hole was a certain size. And then I bought an accurate digital one and then put that inside, so you can see like a ballpark if it's like way off or not. This thing at least tell you like you're in the ballpark or not, and then you can look inside and get a digital reading. And then, not that it probably matters that much, but it's part of the fun. It's like, the guy putting 2 coats of ceramic coating on his AC Cobra when all he needs to do is wax it, but it's like the fun of making it as nice as you can, So anyway, so yeah, I took a little bit of a ding yesterday, not thrilled with it, and that's that. And the weather's awesome, though. I got my pain patch on, which is kicking in. It's a cool pain patch. It cools you. I have no idea how that works, but damn, it works, and it's taking my pain right down. And I'm still paying attention in the back of my mind how this electroacupuncture is working. And we'll see if it works the whole time while I'm back home. I'll probably be more active, I suppose, back there. This might be a real physical challenge for me. I've got my regular cane, the one I made, the solid piece of oak, but it's bulky because it doesn't fold. It's like this big long thing, and it's always in the way, and it falls down at the restaurant twice through dinner, and blah, blah, blah. It's hard to put a cane somewhere. You need to put like a leather strap on it. Then you got to find a hook. And if you hook it somewhere, you can leave the restaurant, and I walk fine without it. It just helps me balance and takes the load off, And then you realize later you've left it somewhere. Well, that helps. So I did get a lightweight aluminum folding one, and I reshaped the handle here and made it look less like a medical appliance and less like something a guy in his 90s would use. It looked really like, I'm like, I don't want to use that. That looks really bad. It makes me look at least 10 years older using that stupid frickin' thing. So I should take up stick fighting. If I have a cane half the time, I should take up stick fighting. All right, well, that's it. I'm tired now. I've gotten some of it off my chest. So I share this. So if you do village relationships, you'll get some of this stuff. And it will get a little weird about money sometimes. It will. There's a big saving face. The women enforce the other women to do the dishes, to wash the clothes by hand, to iron everything, including the underwear of their men and their children. It's the women that push the other women into these subservient roles. Isn't that interesting? I find that fascinating that that's how it works here. And I can tell you that 100%, okay? And it's the women then that put the ideas in other women's head in the village that they got to get more money, that they got to have this, they got to have that, or they're not saving face. And a real village girl will buy into that, and therein is your problem. That's your challenge. So, all right, there you go. My name is Rob, and thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I meant every word I just said with respect.